to start by learning. This is preschool, moving everywhere all the time, can't keep it down, all that stuff. And our theme song this year, our theme is Living in the Light, if you want to figure that out. For Growing in Grace. And really this class is for anybody, whether you use Growing in Grace or not. But most everything that I will do will come from Growing in Grace because that's what I live with every day. And our theme song is Living in the Light. And the motions go like this, and I'm only going to do a portion of it because I think that's all preschoolers can handle. And it's fist, thumbs up, living. And that's pretty much, I think the real sign language is your whole hand, but we're going to do this because it's going to go to the next thing. So it's living in the light of Jesus. I think so hard, living in the light. I will live in the light. Yeah, and then that repeats. Okay, that 15 minutes just wasn't quite enough. All right, so here we go again. Living in the light of Jesus, I will live, I will live in the light. Okay, y'all can do better than me. I'm movement challenged, they come and ask me if this works, and I'm going, I have no idea because I can't do all that stuff. Okay, so, and basically those are the motions that I will do with preschool. Okay, living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. That repeats, go. Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. Okay, now what are we going to do if that's too much?
Pick one.
Pick one. Living in the light of Jesus. That was two. But you could pick one or two of those. And this are light, because they're going to
like light.
They're going to like light. You know, that may be the one you want to do. Living in the light of Jesus. They all know this one already. They know what that means, okay? So living in, and then there is a little bridge, and then there are motions for that. I'm not even thinking about that for preschool, but I'm going to come back to part one.
I think they'll do their own.
They will. They'll make up their own, except I probably will have them pat their legs. Something to keep those so they won't be making up their own. So they're going to be keeping their hands busy because that's really what we need to do is keep those little hands and keep busy. Okay? So let's try it one more time and let's see if I can find a pitch. I think it's that one. Living in, just sing that echo first. Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light and go.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
You guys are great. Now do those motions with that. Ready, go.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
And repeat.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
And the next part is, He will lead me step by step, and I will do what's right. I will follow Him and leave the darkness behind. And then,
living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
Live in the light. And then it actually, I don't think I passed that out. If you have the song thing from yesterday, we can pass those out if we need them. If you have it from this morning, the preschool songs. If you don't have those at all, Peggy, would you see if you can find some? I've got some over there. They're in, it's the blue, the little blue thing. Not the handout, but it's in the, no. It's a one, yeah, no, it's okay. It's the thing that looks like this, if you need it. That, and it's in there. There she got it, okay? So you can get to that song. All right. And then let's sing along and do those motions. And it's on the first page in that little book of songs. It's all it's right now. Here we go. Ready?
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
And
He will lead me step by step, and I will do what's right. I will follow Him and leave the darkness behind. I will live in the light, live in the light. I will live in the light.
and that's all you have. That's the preschool portion of that. In the older children and younger children, there is the third stanza of Ferris Lord Jesus in the middle of it. You do an A section, the hymn is the B section, and then you repeat that. So, and it's the third stanza because it's the stanza about fair is the sunshine, fair is the moon, and all of that stuff, okay? And there's one tricky little, we changed the rhythm, 3 little rhythm places. I just pushed the rhythm just a little bit to give it just a little more energy to kind of go with what we're doing here. But you know what? If you don't like that, we don't expect everybody to. It's sort of like step by step that first year, you know, we had that, the hymn with that. But anyway, so that's a great one. Okay, now, one of the things that we teach about steady beat, this is not so much steady beat, but just interpretive movement, right? You might want to do that during the first week, and you might even want to do that on your kickoff night or your first night. Teach them that much of that, at least this part of it. Living in the light of Jesus. Maybe that's all you're going to do, the whole thing. You don't have to do even all the other stuff. Just that much. But here's an activity that goes with it. And it's playing on cups. And I was trying to find red and green solo cups. And the visual actually, I don't know where it is, but it actually has solo cups on it. And they're like this. And then there's some cards that you cut apart. So we figure out by play and singing, you're going to clap. Where is the silent beat in that phrase? Where's the silent beat? Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. Okay, there's a cotton ball there to help us remember that. And you've got cups. You can play that on cups. And then, so we know that's how the song goes, but we might want to put this silent beat somewhere else, like maybe right there, just for fun. Not the way the song goes. Now, can you clap this one for me? Clap only on the green cups, not on the red ones. 1, 2, ready, and clap. Exactly. Now, the instructions will tell you to make enough copies. This is an activity to make enough sets of those for each child to have a set of cups, red and green cups. So then you let them make their own rhythm patterns. Okay? I would always start with this at the end because that's the way the song goes. We're teaching them that. But that's one of our rhythmic scope and sequence things, is to know when to play and when to stop. Sound and silence in music. Okay? Now, the other thing that we're going to do with that is we're going to move some scarves. I heard Pam calling them worship tools. Yes. Okay. All righty. Everybody take one. I was like, okay, worship tools. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. I've not heard of that. I call them scarves and props and those kind of things. Not so much. Because I don't use this kind of thing so much in a worship service. Right. But whatever works. That's great. That's great for her. That's just not me. Okay? Oh, and look. Julia's found a different way to hold her scarf. And she's floating it over her head already. Okay. I want you to move it up and down on phrase 1, and I want you to move it side to side on phrase 2. Just watch me, actually, and that will make that work for us.
Jesus, I will live in the light.
And side to side.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light. He will lead me step by step, and I will do what's right. I will follow Him and leave the darkness behind. I will live in the light, living the light. I will live in the light.
Now I want you to stand up and move your little stars and move your feet. Julie, now you get to move your feet. Julie's coming, no problem. Okay, not really. I just met Julie today. I'm already picking on her. Here we go. We're going to move our feet. 2, ready.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
Arms.
Living in the light of Jesus, I will live in the light.
Turn again.
He will lead me step by step, and I will do
And turn again.
I will follow Him and leave the darkness behind.
And one more time. Look at me.
I will live in the light, live in the light. I will live in the light.
Awesome. Put those under your chair because we were going to need them again in just a minute. Okay. Excellent. One of the reasons I was having you go this way, who can tell me why?
It's important to cross the midline.
It's important to cross the midline, and the midline is right here, okay? Why is that important?
Because it develops gross motor so that they can do fine motor.
Okay? It develops gross motor so they can do fine motor. It also makes all the neurons connect on both sides of the brain. Okay? It's crossing the midline. So don't always do same pat, 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 or step, 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 and never cross that midline. Always figure some way to do that. Not every time, but most of the time. Okay? All right. Oh, let's see if I can find that F again. Oh, good. I've got it. All right, here we go. Everybody's just sing along. Have you heard this yet today? Once or twice, in younger and older. The cool thing about this song, it's in all 3 age groups. The older children have got a wonderful ORF arrangement of it. Preschoolers are going to sing the Oh Glory little chorus part, and we preschoolers are just going to sing this part, okay? But we're going to do some other things with it. Up on note 2, ready?
Everybody's welcome, yes, yes, welcome. Everybody's welcome, come and clap with me.
And stop. I'm going to play the recording because I want you to hear. They're pretty much the same, but I want you to hear. If I can see. I've got stuff on too many CDs now. I'm trying to keep everything. I think it's this.
But I'm watching one.
Come on, play. Well, it's spinning, but it's not playing. Just a second. And in the meantime, what are the boys and girls doing? They're just everywhere. You can put them. If you can put it on your iPad or your phone or your iPod, you're going to be so much better off.
That's okay.
Here we go. And
Everybody's welcome, yes, yes, welcome. Everybody's welcome, come and clap with me.
sing your own name.
Benjamin is welcome, yes, yes,
Sing a friend's name.
welcome. Emily is welcome,
know the song, use the track, and you might sing, everybody's welcome, yes, yes, welcome. Everybody's welcome, play the shaker with me. So you can change that up and use all of your unpitched instruments. And this song is used throughout the semester for early arrivers, different kind of instruments, all kinds of things. Another one, let's see if it's the next one on my. Higgledy-piggledy. Do you know higgledy-piggledy? Yeah, some of you do, I bet. Higgledy, I'm not in a jeans. Here we go.
Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please clap your hands with me. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please clap your hands with me.
Okay, this time we're going to tap.
Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please tap your hands with me.
Tap your knees with me. Tap your toe this time.
Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please tap your toes with me. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please turn your head with me.
Yeah, we'll nod our head. We'll get up in a minute. So, hey, now, here's another way to use the song that you'll find in session, I think it's in session 1. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please say your name for me. Julie, Julie is her name is Julie, could be our response, okay? This time we're going to sing it again, and I'm going to walk down the rolling point. When I get to you, will you sing, my name is, whatever your name is, and we're going to respond by singing, her or his name is, whatever it is. Okay, here we go. We'll start right here. Ready, sing.
Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please say your name with me.
My name is Catherine.
Her name is Catherine. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please say your name with me.
My name's Deanna.
Her name's Deanna. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee, please say your name with me.
My name is Sherry.
Her name is Sherry.
Okay, now I heard some of us singing da 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 da. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. And you know what else? The kids are going to do that. This is because that's what their brain is used to hearing. Da 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 da. The song is actually written this way. Okay? And I might spend a minute showing them the hand signs. Higgledy-piggledy bumblebee. Did I do any more than 2 signs? Then I don't want to hear but 2 sounds. But see, preschoolers are still learning how to connect and control all of that. They get these sounds in their heads, and it's really hard to change what they're thinking.
But it's up there. I mean,
It is up there, but the children, and this is the correct way to sing it. But, right. But, well, it is here, but not at the beginning. I heard it's some at the
Oh,
beginning
right.
too.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, it's a little bit problematic in that it's not the same. But we printed the folk song as it is. So, and we could have made that change, but it really doesn't matter for this kind of song. If we're singing a spiritual concept song or a song we're going to use in worship, then we want everybody singing the right notes. And this is early in the year, and so we're not ever going to say, and notice I said say your name. So it may be that in the beginning of the year, all they're going to do is say their name. These little ones don't much like to sing along. However, we need to give them lots of opportunities to sing along, because how can we assess where they are with their singing skills if we never hear them sing along? So I just wanted to throw that in, and then we'll also use instruments with this later in the session, in this semester. So we'll get a lot of good mileage out of that. Okay. All right. Movement is integral to a child's musical development. Or I didn't put the on there, but I needed to. I've been doing quite a bit of reading from John Feyerabend of late. And if you know who he is, you will know that he's one of the leading authorities in the United States with music for young children, primarily preschoolers. He starts with babies. And he actually has some classes he does for moms who are pregnant to let the children begin hearing music, certain types of music, certain beats, certain kinds of things. And then he does a class of bounces primarily, bounces and wiggles for moms and really young children, toddlers and younger, so they get to feel it. And his thing, and I so agree with it, is that children need to be beatful. And what he means by beatful is being able to internalize the beat, okay? And know whether that beat is grouped in twos or threes. Now, why is that important? Why is that important? Why is it important to be able to internalize a steady beat? He gives several things, some of which I agree with, some of which some of
life is full of patterns.
Life is full of patterns.
You know, in
You're
lots
exactly
of,
right.
lots of ways. So
Even when you're rocking a baby, rocking them to sleep, you want to rock in a that's a steady beat, okay? Hopefully. It's not always. Swinging, all of those things are steady beat activities and steady beat movements. And all that is so important to the development of the child's brain. It's all about brain development. I wish I knew a whole lot about that, but quite honestly, I'm going to retire again one of these days, and I don't have time to learn it all. I've retired twice, and my best friend says I failed retirement. So, one of these days I'm going to, though. But it makes so much sense to me to hear about this beatful thing that he talks about. And he said, you know, when you clap at a ball game, you don't want to be the only one that's on the offbeat. Like I was on the offbeat a minute ago. I was up when y'all were down. Okay? That's an important part of community. It's a part of making music together, being able to cooperate and find that beat. And what if you moms want to dance with your sons-in-law? Okay? Whether it's a music that moves in two or your daughter or your daughter-in-law. It has to do with being able to figure out how the music is grouped. Okay? And we do more of that. We do more of that than we think we do. We just don't label it that way so much. Because the children they don't care. They just want to have fun doing all these things. Okay, so in order to make all this happen, children have to listen. They have to listen. They also have to observe. They have to see what the people around them are doing so they can learn to match those beats, okay? I did a world drumming class. This is my sister, by the way, Peggy. She's here from San Antonio. Just came up to help me today and be with us. So we don't get to see each other very often. But we did Will Schmid's world drumming class, and every time somebody would get off, Will or whoever was teaching would say, look at what your neighbor's doing. Look at what your neighbor's doing. So if you have children who are struggling to find that beat, have them look at their neighbor, have them watch their neighbor, okay? And then you need to kind of be there ready to help. And sometimes it's as simple as going up and taking their hands and helping them feel it, patting them on the shoulder. Children learn in so many different ways that we have to offer all of those helps. Whether it's oral, some of them can't hear it and internalize it, but if they can feel it, they can internalize it a little bit better. So look for all those ways to do that. And then the third one, so they have to listen, they have to observe, and then they have to control whatever mechanism they're using. Okay? Whether it's their singing voice or whether it is learning to play an instrument, they have to learn how to control that. And that, to me, has to do with timing. How long do I hold this before I move to the next thing? How long does that phrase take? How long do I have to do that? Okay, so those three really important things. But the movement teaches children how to start and stop. We think they know that, but they don't always know that. they need to know when to start, when to stop. And we have some, each day is a book based on my many colored days. We have an activity based on my many colored days, which gives them an opportunity to play instruments while you're pointing to a rainbow. They start on one end of the rainbow and they stop when you get to the end of the rainbow. So that's one. Helps them identify parts of the boy body. I don't want to do that. You go back and you read all this stuff and No, we don't want to do that. We want to identify parts of our own body, like our hands and our legs and our feet. Oh, my. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to read them before I push those buttons. Okay, it teaches children how to move in space without bumping into others. And that, again, is about timing. And one way that I've tried to do that with little ones is to have them blow up a bubble. And they have a bubble around them. And if their bubble touches somebody else, it's going to pop. And then they might have to sit down for a minute till they can blow up another bubble. And it's amazing how that keeps them from bumping into all the people around them. I'm going to see if the next one's okay. Teaches children to imitate simple sequences of movement. Okay, you're going to find this in the fall preschool materials, and it's a movement ladder. All of those are not in the fall. It only had 3, but I wanted you to see how you can add to that. The other ones are in younger children. So if your church has younger children, just borrow the movement ladder from them, and you'll have a few more of those little things. So, I want you to stand up, and I want you to listen. I'm going to tell you part of what instead of taking the time to have you figure all this out, this helps us learn something about form, okay? And the music is on your fall recording, Growing in Grace. And 1, 2, clap 8 times. Wings. What's the difference in hop and jump? I saw you doing it.
Hop is on 1 foot.
Hop is on 1 foot, jump is on 2 feet. Did you know that? Yeah. Hop is 1 foot. Okay? Are those preschoolers going to fall? Lose their balance? That's why the bubble's important. So they have to spread out, stay in their bubble. If they fall, they just get back up and start jumping where we are. Okay, notice that the sequence was the same and the music changed on every motion that we did. Okay, so they're learning by pictures to do a simple progression of movements. And that one goes through 4 times. Now, the lesson actually says to do each movement 16 times. But I like to do it this way. So you can do it either way, whatever you want to do. You know, it doesn't matter. I've used this music for a very long time and started just with the motion. And after 8 beats, I would change it to something else. And then ask the children Can you tell me how I knew when to change the beat? How did I know? And you know what? Even some of those younger ones, the older preschoolers, can figure out that it was after 8 times. Because they're beginning to count, they're beginning to do all that in school, and they can figure out that they have to count and then make a different motion. All right, I'm gonna look at this. Oh my. Help children learn to respond to movement directions, which we've been talking about. All right, and then all of this together is to develop the sense of steady beat, which is so important. I heard Pam say this morning, number one thing, musical thing that we do, is to develop the sense of steady beat. Okay, here's what we teach in Growing in Grace. But as I said this morning, for those of you who are in here, you know what? This is a good scope and sequence, rhythmic movement scope and sequence for whatever curriculum you're using. Okay? Move to the steady beat in a variety of ways. Have we done a variety of ways already? And we're not done yet. Okay? So it's finding ways to do steady beat. Children are not going to be able, if I played a drum and asked the children to match their feet to my drum beat, are they going to be able to do it? Probably not. That comes with practice. Okay? That comes with listening, observing, and then being able to control what they're doing, what they're hearing with what they are trying to do with their feet. Okay, so lots of ways to do steady beat. Okay. Then move to the beat with partners, individually, or as a whole group. And we've done mostly the whole group thing, but there are activities where we do it the other way. Start and stop, we did that. Respond to changes in music, fast, slow, loud, quiet, long, and short. And there's an activity coming in the spring that uses the hymn, Joyful, Joyful, we adore thee. And you go all the way through and you play instruments or do whatever. I don't remember exactly the specifics. But at the end of that it says, oh great, you did such a great job. Now can you do it a little bit faster? And then the tempo, there's a little interlude and the tempo speeds up. So we get to see if we can do that a little bit faster. So again, using a hymn, but incorporating steady beat in everything we do. Okay. Move expressively to match the mood of the music with and without props. Okay? Or what she said. Okay, create and choose movements to interpret musical style and mood. All right, let me stop right here for a second because I don't know how many of these there are that I need. And actually there are 2 of each one. So take one and pass them around. Take one down. And I'll find my book. Okay. All right, this is what I'd like for you to do. I want to take just like 2 to 3 minutes when they all get out, and I want you to get with your partner who has the same color, okay? And I want you to make up some kind of movement that you could do. We're not going to be playing any music. It's just going to be something for us to see with this rainbow of colors. Okay? They're coming. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. They're coming, they're coming. Okay? And this is my many colored days. I think this is a great way to help children. Dr. Seuss' book, a great way to work with children about mood and how they feel. It's really important that kids are able to express the way they feel when they're singing and when they're in the room. Okay, we have blacks and grays left, it looks like. That's okay. Blacks and grays are good. Okay, so here we go. I want you to take just a couple of minutes. Let me give you an idea. Okay, here's what the first one says. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. So you red folks, if you can get together and come up with some kind of motion that might take, 4 to 8 beats, and let us see that, okay? All right, you got it? And I'm not going to tell you what the other, well, I guess I should, okay? Bright blue days, you probably could do this without getting together. Let's try it. Let's see without getting together, okay? So here we go, my many colored days. Some days are yellow. Some days are blue. On different days, I'm different too. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. Go red. Oh, with your ribbon. Oh, yeah. She's kicking her heels. Let's kick her heels. That's good. All right. On other days, I'm other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings. Good. Good. She's crossing the midline. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown. Then I feel slow and low, low down. Oh, look at them. They're going up and then they went down. Excellent. Then comes a yellow day. I'm a busy, buzzy bee. Oh, look. See, there we go. We're busy, buzzy bees. Okay. Gray day. Everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. Can you move it just so we can see where gray is? Good. All right. It's kind of moving slow. Then all of a sudden I'm a circus seal. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Oh, good. Oh, yay. Green days. Deep, deep in the sea. Cool and quiet fish. That's me. Oh, yes. So allow time for children to make creative movements. On purple days, I'm sad. I groan. I drag my tail. All right. But when my days are happy pink, jump. It's great to just not think. It's great to jump and just not think. Yeah, there you go. Then come my black days. Mad and loud. I howl. I growl at every cloud. Oh, look at them. You can even growl if you want, okay? Then comes a mixed up day. And wham, or my granddaughter would say, bam. Everything is bam now. And bam, I don't know who or what I am. But it's all right. But it all turns out all right, you see. And I go back to being me. Okay, go back to this day and everybody moves. So we can see that rainbow of color. Okay? But it all turns out all right, you see. And I go back to being me. Okay? And then you can have everybody move just a little, just softly from high to low. Now, I will tell you that someone has done the research and have listed, I have it on my computer, and I'll be happy to email it to you if you want it. They have done a musical selection, a classical musical selection that goes with each of those colors. So it's very cool. So you can use the book and some music. The one for the fish is something from the aquarium. It's fish from the aquarium. And Busy Bumblebee is Flight of the Bumblebee. But she gives you the source composer of all of that music that I think would be fabulous. I just didn't find it in time to get all that downloaded for you, and I knew I wasn't going to have time. But that's great. If you want that, put that on that registration card. Send my Many Colored Days recording list, and I will send that to you. Okay, let's see what's next. All right. So that we're creating and choosing movements to interpret musical style and mood. Dramatizations. Play simple passing games using plates, balls, or other props to keep a steady beat. Okay, and then developing steady beat with scarves, balls, streamers, and such. Okay, living in the light we did already. We're not going to come back and do that. Hello, neighbor. This is another song for fall, and these are my BB tennis balls. Don't know about BB tennis balls.
Oh, yeah.
Take an X-Acto knife, cut a little hole in it, put some plastic BBs in there, and then I hot glue them back together. Okay? Isn't that a nice shaker sound? It's a very nice shaker sound.
It's not so loud.
So,
Yes.
they're great. Here you go. Be ready, I'm gonna toss them. Oh, one-handed catch back there. Eyes and ears are paying attention.
I'm just gonna put it on my door prize.
Good, one-handed catch. I can call your name, call everybody's name. And Madeline has one, but not. Oh, Melissa, that's okay. And then there's Misty. And what about Beverly? And what about Pam? And what about Janice? And what about Julie? And what about Sherry? And what about Penny? And what about Michelle?
Loud, but it doesn't hurt you.
Everyone has a ball. Okay, shake 4, beats 4, ready and go. Now, from one end to the other, ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, neighbor. I forgot the words. We're gonna keep all this in your head. Here's the finger. Yeah, there you go. Have a great day. Okay, there are 2 measures in between, and you can just pass the ball back and forth in your hand. And the music actually says, the song actually says, here's a high five or a friendly wave. But we're just going to pass the balls back and forth right now. We'll do the other things in just a moment.
Okay, now you're being curious.
Okay. Maybe. I'm so not technical.
This way.
And you would wave at your neighbor. And you were to sing.
Hello, neighbor, have a great day.
We're going to do high five, but we're going to keep passing.
Let me shake your hand. Hello, neighbor, have a great day. Hello, neighbor, here's a high five.
Close to your ear, it's not even licensed.
Hello, neighbor, have a great day.
And stop. Excellent. Put that down on the floor for just a minute, except for Julie. I want you to hold yours for a minute. Because we're going to pass that. We're going to pass that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you.
No, I was just thinking that your husband kind of cracks me up like that sometimes too.
We have been living together a long time.
Yeah. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You would actually seat the children in a circle. I told them I really needed a big room, but this is what I got. So we're going to pretend that we're sitting in a circle. Same place. So we're going to pass. We're going to go, hello. We're going to pass the ball, okay, from Julie to Beverly to Allison to Karen. And when we get to 8, I'm going to say, tell me your name. And you're going to answer, da, da, da. And then we're going to say, our name is whatever it is. My name is whatever, okay? But we're going to stop on 8, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is your name? My name is Michelle.
Her name is Michelle.
Okay, I wasn't clear. I didn't tell you whether to use the big beat or the little
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
That was my
I
fault.
think it needs to be the big
Okay.
beat, don't you?
The big beat's going to be better. Yes, the big beat for this kind of activity, the big beat's gonna be better, okay? The half note beat, okay? So let's do half note beat this time, and if you'll hold your hands out, oh dang, you're gonna have to get back there pretty, yeah, there you go, okay? A reach, yes, here we go. 2, 3, and go.
Hello, neighbor, have another time. Hello, neighbor, have a great day. What is your name? My name is Dora. Her name is Dora.
Yes, exactly. Now, once we started doing the big beat, did you see what y'all did? Did y'all see what they did? They started passing from one, they subdivided it, but it was only going from your hand to your other hand and then over, okay? And that helps to feel that beat, and because the other one it's the timing. See, it's having to know how long you need to hold it before you need to get rid of it.
Yes.
That half note, that long beat.
But you could use this with older children in teaching subdivision.
You actually, yes, absolutely could. Okay, I don't think I put the track on here, but that would be great to do with the track, and then you just pause or keep going or whatever. Okay, but you're going to find lots of use of that. Hold on to those balls. We're going to come back to those in a moment. Okay, so hello neighbor, and here's another cool thing about hello neighbor. Our theme is living in the light, and for this year, it's in the fall semester, we're focusing on helping the children know in every way possible that Jesus is the light of the world. Okay, He is the light. God spoke and light was there. Okay, and we have a song that talks about that. We're also going to learn hello in some other languages. Okay, so we're going to do, and you have these little cards in your materials. So we're going to learn hola, bonjour, hello, guten Tag, konnichiwa, and jambo. Yeah, which is from an African language. So what you do, or what we suggest, you can use these any way you want. You could use a different one for each stanza. But what we're suggesting is that you have them in a little container by the door, and as the children come in, have a child pick one, and that's the greeting that you use that night. Okay? So they learn of these languages and where they come from. I think this poster is just one of the cutest ones we've done. I love it. And the spring semester, we're focusing on sharing the light of the world. So in the fall, we're going to know that He is the light of the world. And then in the spring, we're going to focus on sharing the light, letting people know. So watch for those, and you might want to hang on to that if you have those and use that again. Okay, let's see. What's next? Too much. Every day is special. That's very similar. I'm not going to take the time to do that. That's very similar to my many colored days, except that's the one that you have this rainbow, and they have instruments on 5 different colors of construction paper, and then they play. You read a little poem, and then they play. So we're learning about starting and stopping with movement. Okay? And let's see, we did that already. So let's go on, if we can. I wonder what's happened here. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does, because I need to get to the next. There. Okay, your word is a lamp to my feet. I love this scripture. I love to put it in the hearts and heads of children. Your word is a lamp to my feet. This one has a little Hebrewish feel. They don't all, but this one does. And we're going to learn to play the steady beat with it. So will you play with me on your legs, please? Bum, 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 bum. It's the big beat. It's the half note beat, although you'll see it written as order, rest. And then we're going to play it. We're going to play it with this chart of lanterns, which are boom whacker colors. Okay, so Afro, you got that going. Yeah. And I usually, yeah, y'all are resting on spoon wipers so well, because the children would not be resting. Banging them everywhere. Okay? So thank you for resting those. There are different ways to play them. The children want to play them on your head. I don't ever let them do that. And there's your one. I usually have them play the palm of your hand. It's got to be kind of stretched, kind of tight. Play there. Alright, so we're going to go. Now, can you play only on your color? 1, 2, ready, go. A time or two, but y'all did great. Okay. Now, just to add a little timbre to that, I might add these bells. Okay. And let's hear just the dinglings play. Orange, light green, dark green, and purple. Now the cool thing about these bells is that you can just tap them on the top. You can play them while y'all are holding them. But look at that.
That's cool.
That is so cool. You, who knew? Who knew? You can use those like handbells. You can ring them that way. But with preschoolers, I would probably have them tap them on top. Okay? So let's hear just the bells play. Ready? And here you go. Now, sorry. Doesn't that have a nice ring? Ring to it. We're going to do it with the recording. Let's hear the boom whackers and the bells together. 1, 2, ready, and go. I like that! That was good! Excellent! That's good. She gave us a little creative set. Are we still working on steady beat?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Some of us more successfully than
Some of us are a little more successful than some others, but you know what? She got right back on it. Isn't that wonderful? Karen, you were great. Awesome. All right. Now, let's listen to just a little bit of this to see what the tempo is before we start to play.
Oh, that is okay. Follow it on.
Bum, 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 bum. Go.
Your word is a lamp to my feet, lamp to my feet. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path.
Listen.
I will obey you, I will obey you, I will
that song in the hearts of kids and children. What better way? I mean, when we get to those dark gray and black days, if we know that His Word is a light to our feet or lamp to our path. We also have, and I didn't print them out because they were on my other PowerPoint. But there are also some pictures that are word cues. There's a picture of the Bible, there's a picture of a lamp, there's a picture of a flashlight, and there's a picture of a path, going through a door, going in a path. So the children can order those, and sequencing is another important part of what we do musically, which helps them in every other thing they do. But those are all good things to do. There's also, no, I think that's another song. Okay, you can just, again, leave those, we'll probably just leave those under your chairs. But this is a great little, your word is a lamp to my feet. And here's another thing you can do. This is not in the curriculum, but we collected all these silly beanie babies, and I don't know why. We did. But now I'm using them as beat buddies. Okay? So everybody, I don't know if I have enough for everybody, but we'll see. Which could also be used as a singing game.
Slow but sure he gets there.
Beverly. Shit, that was good, Beverly. That was really good. Okay. You'll work. Okay. I'm gonna play that again, and we're just gonna use our beat buddies to keep the steady beat. But you need to watch where I'm keeping the steady beat and match what I'm doing. Okay? We're gonna start on our hands. So I'll just give you a clue. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to count and listen to the intro. The beat, so we'll know what the beat is. Ready and go.
Your word is a lamp to my feet, lamp to my feet, a lamp to my feet. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path. I will obey you, I will obey you, I will obey your holy word. I will obey you, I will obey
Praise Him.
I will obey you.
And we're listening to the song again.
Your word is a lamp to my feet, lamp to my feet, a lamp to my feet. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path.
Excellent. They'll sit there and do that, and then you might say, who has the turtle? Oh, the turtle. Who has the leopard? Who has the bear?
Uh-oh. We both have bears.
Okay, give me
I have the brown bear.
Julie has a brown bear, and Beverly has the white bear. Who has the? There's another bear. She has a speckled bear. Who has the owl?
I have the owl.
Ooh! How does the owl sound? And you know, that's another thing you can do is have the children make that sound after they sing to you. Have them make those sounds. That's important in the singing part. I told the class this morning, you can't really separate these two things. You can't really separate moving and singing. It all goes together. Okay, so whenever you find light on something that's really good, the children like it, figure out all the ways you can expand it. Okay, so those are beat buddies, and let's see. Let me check. Let's see if I got it. Oh, Jesus Christ is born. All right, I'm gonna go to the next screen if I can get there. Okay, this is an activity, and we need if you had a bell earlier, if you'll pass it to someone who didn't have a bell. And we need that one, and we need a B flat out of it. Now this B flat is going to be,
Absolutely.
okay. Now, this is one of the Christmas songs. Somebody need a bell? This is one of the Christmas songs. I should tell y'all, last week I was at Oasis, and this lady was asking, okay, how do we play that? And I picked up a dry erase marker, and went, well, you play this, and this. And my husband, by the time I started the third one, he said, that's a screen. It's not a dry erase. So we spent the next 2 hours after class was over trying to clean up the dry erase board. Because I was at this, you know, I can't leave this like this, and all the Oasis people were saying, oh, it's okay. They don't really ever use those. I'm like, I can't leave it with 3 lines down. It was right in the middle of the screen. Okay, so I'm not going to draw any lines on it, but here's what you do. You play up and down.
Of course, like that shows over there.
Right, so you're going to play, if you have a G, an E, and a C, will you play it 4 times for me at this rate of tempo? Beat, 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 and go. Jesus Christ is born, 2, 3, 4. Jesus Christ is born. Okay, play your 4 times. Jesus Christ is born. And then the next chord, okay, this B flat is going to be up there because I don't have a low B flat in these bells. 2, ready, and go. Oh, there we go. I gotta have everybody playing. Gotta have F, D, and B flat. 2, ready, and go. And back to our C chord. 2, ready, and go. And repeat. 4. Now, this is for the introduction and the interludes. Okay? Because children don't sing and play too well together. And we want them to sing. So if you have that song packet, this is Jesus Christ is Born. And I'm going to see if I can find the music as well. Because I can't remember how to do that. So we have page 5. Thank you. Page 5. And we have a 4-measure intro. So we're going to play this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll hear it on the accompaniment. I'm going to play that with you. The lady last week said, well, what is that? That is the very last chord of the piece. So this all repeats. These chords repeat. Now children are not necessarily going to know that you play these all together. The instructions in the activity tell you how to do that, how to help them understand that. And this is an activity group. It's not a large group thing like we're doing it right now. Okay. So you'll have personal attention for everybody. Yes, that will help. I'm trying to do a combination of small group activities and large group activities and so forth. Okay, so let's try it. See how far we can go. Maybe not very far, I don't know. I think it's on the other CD. See, there you go. About the time you get settled. Landry, are you going to fix these for me?
Sure.
Edit these, I mean.
Oh,
The video?
with your approval, of course.
Okay.
I'll mail it to you for you.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, this is and we'll play this time, okay? So it's about 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go, maybe. 2, ready. And then you sing.
Jesus Christ is born, let the bells ring.
Play again right there.
Jesus Christ is born, praises we bring. Sing hallelujah, this is an hallelujah day. Sing hallelujah, Jesus is born, come sing your praise. Jesus Christ is born, let the bells ring. Jesus Christ is born, praises we bring. Sing hallelujah, this is an hallelujah day. Sing hallelujah, Jesus is born, come sing your praise. Jesus Christ is born, Jesus Christ is born, Jesus Christ is born.
3, 4, and then that plays at the very end. Okay, I did not give you good directions there, but it's in the lesson plan. Okay, but that's a great way to incorporate some bells because preschoolers can play those bells, and they can have. And the song is about that. And here's the cool thing about this song: it's going to come back in the spring, but it's Jesus is Alive. So you know the song already. You're going to have a little repeat of that activity, but Jesus is Alive. And these pictures just happen to be my granddaughter, but she's showing us really nice mouth shapes, okay? And you've seen, if you've used the curriculum, you've seen her. This is about, I said, we should have signed you up for a royalty contract on this, because we've used them several times. But that's, so you use ah, le, ooh, and ah. So you make 2 copies of ah. So when they sing that, sing alleluia, then you just point to those vowel shapes and help them sing that word properly. Okay? Let's see. We have about 5 minutes. Any questions? It's a lot to take in. Isn't it? Okay, I want to, would you walk up there and see if by any chance that package came? Whoever's up there. Melinda. I wanted to share this little book with you. It's called This Little Light of Mine. And I love this little book. This is, the table of contents says you have some, one little paragraph and then some sayings about the light of delight, the light of hope, the light of possibility, the light of faith, the light of love, the light of courage, the light of gratitude, and the light of kindness. And then as you go through, and the art is just beautiful in this book. The light of delight. It is the flare of a firework and the flicker of a candle. The light of delight that calls us to create celebrations and honor personal milestones. It encourages us to share happiness with those in our lives. When friends gather, the spark of laughter ignites connection between kindred spirits, and we gasp in awe at how joy replenishes joy. Okay? And every page is like that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book.
Who's the author?
Hope Lyda, Hopelyda.
And what's the full title again?
This Little Light of Mine. And believe it or not, we haven't sung yet This Little Light of Mine, but it's coming in the spring. Okay, we're gonna get to sing it in the spring. So, in fact, we could just sing it right now while we're waiting. Oh, I need to tell you about this. Sing and play.
Oh, that's what you.
With Growing in Grace. It's an activity kit, and inside that kit is a CD. I think it's 20 songs. all from preschool, maybe one or two from younger. There is an activity book. No package. Oh my. Okay. There's an activity book that has a little activity page to go with each song in the book. And then there are 2 pages of stickers. And some of the pages are sticker pages. Like this one's a sticker page. Okay? So you go find the sticker that goes there and you put it there. And then there are coloring pages, so you have some colors as well, little crayons. This one is called Sing and Play. There is another one, and it's on that postcard that was in your chair. The other one is called Hymns and Bible Songs. And as we go today, I want us to listen to just one of those. These, you can buy these at, we just got them. We were hoping to have them here. Pine Lake was going to have them, but they are just now here. And, but Family Christian Bookstores is going to sell them. And you can, of course, buy them from our website. They're like $7.99. Okay, but I want you to hear one of the hymns from Hymns and Bible Songs. And I wish I had remembered. I wish I had remembered that number, Beverly, of Mighty Fortresses of God. It's a great little CD. These are not rock and roll hymns. They are not. They could be, but they're not. There are 3 Bible songs, and there are 3 instrumental only, and the rest of them are like this. And I'll tell you what, it's designed for preschoolers and younger children, but when I'm having one of those black gray days, pop it in my CD player, and the sound just washes over me. Those hymn texts, okay, that's that one. That's a Bible song. Let's skip on to it. It's a great little lullaby thing to put your children to bed with. See, there we go. I'm going to keep going because I want you to hear. This is one of the instrumental tracks. One guy's doing all the piano. Two different times 3, he added to it, but I think it's just incredible. I did not give him any music, he made it all up. And people are already saying, but I want that accompaniment, I want that. I'm like, okay, that'll be another day. Okay. This is My Father's World. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, but with a little sister act thrown in. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I was looking for that one. Little heart, I forgot. This one's another instrumental. Oh, Worship the King. A little organ. I think we all are God. I think this is. Fortress with all that gusto. That's the way we sing it most of the time.